What's going on, gamers? Big Cloud here, back again with another one. Hope you guys doing well. Let's definitely get into this, man. Hopefully that intro got you guys hyped going into June, because let me tell you, Sony is definitely hinting that we're definitely going to get the full reveal in June. And what better way to do that than to show you what you're going to be seeing on all first-party games running on PlayStation 5. Now, of course, this was confirmed by GameIndustry.biz. Full links in the description below, but apparently that intro that you guys saw is not only for their first-party content, but it will be in all their first-party games. And the reason why Sony did this, now, if I was to add a little bit more to this, if we go back to last year, Sony was doing, they were going through globalization, and pretty much while they were going through globalization, they were putting everything under one moniker, basically so they can operate at one particular rule, one particular direction. If you guys remember, Sony had so many branches like Sony Japan, Sony London, all these other branches, and they were all responsible for their set amount of games. And of course, this ultimately led to the name Worldwide Studios, and that's what Shuhei Yoshida is in charge of, or was in charge of, until he went to the Indie Initiative. So that's basically what they're doing. They switched that around and they changed that to PlayStation Studios. And this is their logo that's going to be in all first-party games. Cover art, this is going to be at the start of all games, and that's what you're going to see on their first party. Looks dope. Looks really, really good. I like it. It kind of reminds me of Avengers, and I'm guessing the same, and I would believe the same thing would be for Microsoft. So this is pretty much both of them doing their exact same thing. Both will have their same intros for their first party, and that's where the true difference is going to come down to, is those first party games. And yeah, it looks good, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Full links again in the description below. But without further ado, let's get into the other stories. Now, there was a job listing that was showcasing the PS5 possibly being launched in October. Of course, this was actually debunked later on today, not even that long, because Famitsu asked Sony about the actual listing and they denied it. So again, my question for you guys, again, if I was to add some more to this, my question for you guys is there any truth to this? Do you guys think there's any truth to this as to Sony actually denying this in general? Now, granted, if they did launch the PS5 in October, one thing is for certain, that would definitely indicate that Sony would definitely have an advantage over Microsoft there, especially launching first. Also, keep in mind too, if that is the case, then that means the price point. You know, the price point would have to be pretty damn good for this console if they really wanted to like blow us away out the door. Now, granted, I've been saying $400. A lot of people have been saying $450 for the console. Ultimately, it could be $400, it could be $500. It's definitely going to be one or two of those price points. Xbox Series X is looking to be $500, but some people are saying it's $400, which is incredible. So I don't get how we got there. $500 for Xbox Series X. If Lockhart does get shown, that's going to be the cheaper end, and that's looking to be probably $300 for their console. So, you know, you're going to have those two models, and Sony would have to be in the middle. So $400 would seem like the likely price point for them. But again, we'll see when we eventually get there. That's just the full little recap of that. Not much really to go off of. You know, it was just a job listing. They denied it. So again, I guess the conspiracies will definitely run wild on whether or not that was true or not. So we'll see. We'll definitely find out as we get closer and closer to the official reveal. Hopefully we get that answer at that reveal, so that way everybody's confusion can definitely stop. Now, it's funny, we talked about the logo, we talked about the intro. Well, here's a potential game of where you'll see that actual logo. Now, again, that logo is going to be on all PS5 games when the system launch. Now, let's get into this. You guys remember back in 2019, there was a rumor going around that Sony was looking to buy Metal Gear Solid and, of course, Castlevania from Konami. Listen to this. Sony reportedly wants to create a Bloodborne-like Castlevania game. I kid you not. Now, this is a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. But let's get into the actual story itself, and we'll definitely break it down. So according to the latest rumors, Sony planned to buy Castlevania IP from Konami and reboot the series in the style of Bloodborne and previous Castlevania game Lords of Shadow. Rumors about a partnership between Konami and Sony have been floating around for several months now, suggesting that Sony are interested in buying several Konami IPs, including Silent Hill and Metal Gear series. Apparently, Sony are already working on 2 Silent Hill games. One of the titles is in development at Sony Japan Studio, while Kojima Productions are working on another game. Silent Hills, on top of this, Sony are also interested in the Castlevania franchise. According to the latest rumors over at Reset Era, Sony are willing to purchase the IP and work on a full reboot. The most exciting part about this is that the game would be similar to Bloodborne and From Software's PS4 exclusive, and also Castlevania Lords of Shadow, so pretty much a jam-packed action title, but with Bloodborne combat and gameplay. Now, again, I'm sold if this is true, but to continue. Of course, it is not surprising that Sony are interested in Castlevania, a franchise which is dripping with potential. The lore, the setting, everything is in its place for a fantastic title, and hopefully Sony will bring us another masterpiece in the next few years. They continue. At the moment, nothing is officially confirmed, though, so we suggest you take the details with a grain of salt, just like any other rumor or unconfirmed info. That being said, Bloodborne-like Castlevania would be a dream game for us, so our fingers are crossed that the rumor is true. And that's what they had to say over here on this in this actual article. Now, to get back to the actual game itself and my thoughts on it, again, it makes sense, to be honest with you, to go with that style for Castlevania, and here's why. There's no guarantee that we'll get a Bloodborne 2. As much as I've been lobbying for it, as much as a lot of you really want another one, the possibilities of us getting another Bloodborne are kind of slim. It's kind of like the flip of a coin. That will be a shocker announcement if we get a Bloodborne 2. Seriously and most honestly, the most Bloodborne thing you'll get probably from PS5 is just an enhanced version of the Bloodborne, obviously the first title that's on the PS4. That's probably the most thing you'll get Bloodborne going into PS5. And I have to accept that reality just like a lot of us, but at the same time, I am hopeful that we'll get a Bloodborne. But just in case we don't get that, Sony is looking for an alternative. And Castlevania is a good alternative for it, especially since they got a good foundation built with Bloodborne. You can take Castlevania and up a notch and add your own spin to it and make it even better. So again, that'd be cool. Of course, they're talking about Sony buying Silent Hills and working on the Silent Hills games, and of course Metal Gear Solid is another title that supposedly is going to be exclusive to PS5. Either way, however you want to dice this, Sony's not kidding around, and I hope to God Microsoft brings it with their first-party studios, because they're definitely in for a war. At the end of the day, some of you guys are saying because they announced stuff first, it's over. It's not. It's a marathon, ladies and gentlemen, not a sprint. And that right there definitely concludes my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel. Do you like this news? Are you guys more excited for this going into June? Let me know in the comments below. Until next time, this is Big Cloud Gaming. I'm gonna see you on the next one. Make sure you hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys back here for more news, updates, and of course, your podcast, the RGT, on Fridays, 5 p.m. Eastern. You guys be blessed. Y'all be easy. This is Big Cloud Gaming, signing out. Later.